As early as 2001, Vietnam proposed a grand idea, which was to build a high-speed railway covering the whole country. It was not until 2006 that Vietnam decided not to accept China's cooperation proposal and chose to cooperate with Japanese railway companies instead. However, 18 years later, the project has not been able to move from the planning stage to actual construction. This long delay has caused the project to stagnate and made the cooperation relationship between the two sides shaky. Faced with this situation, the Vietnamese government took decisive action this year. They held a special meeting on the investment policy of the North-South high-speed railway project and decided to invest $67 billion to promote this high-speed railway project that runs across the North and South. But in fact, Vietnam also faces a series of problems in restarting this high-speed railway project, such as how to raise tens of billions of dollars in project funds and the current lack of high-speed railway technology in Vietnam. Will they choose international partners or let their own construction companies undertake the project? It was not until March this year that the Vietnamese government made a major decision to terminate cooperation with Japan and seek financial and technical support from China. This shows that Vietnam's confidence in Japan has weakened, and it has begun to recognize China's capabilities in high-speed railway technology and construction. So why has Japan failed to complete the construction of this high-speed rail line for so many years? And now, can China help Vietnam complete this great high-speed rail project? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Vietnam is an important country in Southeast Asia. It is located in the eastern part of the Indochina Peninsula and has a land area of about 330,000 square kilometers. Vietnam borders Laos and Cambodia in the north and is connected to the South China Sea and the Gulf of Thailand in the south. The length from south to north is more than 1,600 kilometers, and at the narrowest point, the width is only 50 kilometers. This geographical advantage provides Vietnam with excellent conditions for building an efficient north-south high-speed rail line. According to data, the total length of Vietnam's railways has reached more than 3,100 kilometers. However, Vietnam's railway system faces a major problem, that is, the uneven distribution of railways. About 70% of the railway lines were built during the French colonial period. The existing railway lines are mainly distributed along the coastline, while most cities have not been covered. In fact, the operating speed of some railway lines has not even exceeded 50 kilometers per hour, which has led to the lack of effective railway connections in some important cities and villages in the north and south. It is against this background that the Vietnamese government first proposed the idea of building a north-south high-speed railway in 2001. In order to ensure the feasibility and effectiveness of this grand project, the government conducted extensive discussions and in-depth research in the next 4 years. Among them, several government agencies actively participated in it. Through a lot of data analysis and careful planning, the official North-South High-Speed Railway Plan was finally launched in 2005. It is understood that the North-South High-Speed Railway line starts from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam in the north, and ends in Ho Chi Minh City, an economic powerhouse in the south, passing through 20 provinces and cities. The total length of the project reaches 1,545 kilometers, with a designed maximum speed of 320 kilometers per hour. Prior to this, the Vietnamese government had divided this magnificent project into 2 phases. The first phase included the construction of 2 key sections, Hanoi to Vinh and Nha Trang to Ho Chi Minh City. The second phase was the middle section connecting Vinh and Nha Trang. However, due to Vietnam's limited technical capabilities in high-speed rail construction, the government hopes to introduce international advanced technology to ensure the smooth progress of the project. As early as 2006, Vietnam signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Japan on cooperation in the North-South High-Speed Railway project. By 2010, Vietnam launched an international tender for the project, attracting participation from many countries including China, Japan, and Germany. After a series of comprehensive assessments, Vietnam decided to cooperate with Japan to promote the project. But interestingly, in the following decade or so, the actual construction of the North-South High-Speed Railway has been delayed. What happened behind this? In fact, after in-depth exploration and research with Japan, the Vietnamese government proposed a specific plan for the first North-South High-Speed Railway and planned to officially start construction in 2014, with the goal of opening the entire line to traffic by 2035. However, Japan's initial offer was as high as $55 billion, which is almost equivalent to one-third of Vietnam's GDP. The Vietnamese government found this huge investment unacceptable. Faced with such a high cost, Vietnam finally decided to reject this plan and the project was forced to suspend. Although the project was shelved, the Vietnamese government did not give up the dream of building a high-speed railway. In the next 4 years, after continuous discussions and re-evaluations, Vietnam decided to restart the plan for the North-South High-Speed Railway in 2015. However, this time Japan's offer not only did not decrease, but rose to $65 billion. Faced with the soaring costs again, the Vietnamese government proposed that Japan could make advance payments to share part of the construction costs. However, this proposal was firmly rejected by the Japanese side. As the two sides failed to reach a consensus on the funding issue, the project was once again shelved. In 2019, the Vietnamese government decided to restart the North-South High-Speed Railway plan again and launched a new plan. This new plan adjusted the original passenger and freight dual-use railway to the main passenger use, and the design speed was also increased from 320 kilometers to 350 kilometers. The purpose of this change is to shorten travel time and improve overall transportation efficiency. However, due to the extremely high construction cost of the train's design speed of more than 300 kilometers per hour, the Vietnam National Review Committee failed to approve the plan. At that time, Japan also mainly strengthened its high-speed rail cooperation with India, signed a series of cooperation agreements, and shifted its development focus mainly to the Indian market. This series of actions has made the prospects of the North-South High-Speed Railway even more uncertain. To this day, this ambitious project has not been officially launched. But now, Vietnam has decided to end its cooperation with Japan and launch a new high-speed rail plan again. In order to ensure the smooth implementation of this plan, Vietnam's plan includes 3 detailed implementation stages and hopes to use China's technology and experience to promote the realization of the project. So, what is going on? As early as 2022, Vietnam's Ministry of Transport jointly launched the 3rd version of the North-South High-Speed Railway. This time, they compressed costs as much as possible and planned to gradually achieve the construction goals of the high-speed railway in stages. In March 2024, a delegation composed of the Ministry of Transport of Vietnam, together with the Railway Corporation and other institutions, visited China and conducted in-depth pragmatic cooperation exchanges with Chinese railway companies. Just a few months later, the Prime Minister of Vietnam personally met with representatives of China Railway and several rail transit companies. He expressed Vietnam's urgent need for China's help in railway construction and especially emphasized the importance of cooperation in key links such as railway construction technology. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh also specifically mentioned that China's rich experience and advanced technology in high-speed rail construction can provide great support for the promotion of Vietnam's North-South High-Speed Railway project. It is understood that Vietnam's North-South High-Speed Railway project includes 3 different plans. The first plan focuses on passenger services and plans to upgrade Vietnam's existing meter-gauge railway to meet the needs of short-distance passenger and freight transportation. The total investment of the plan is expected to be approximately $63.5 billion. The second option aims to meet the needs of both passenger and freight transport, but this will reduce the maximum speed of the high-speed rail relatively, and the total cost is expected to be $72 billion. The third option focuses on building a north-south high-speed rail that only serves passengers and handles a small amount of freight transport only when there is a specific demand. Because this option takes into account both passenger demand and the upgrade of the existing railway system, it has received the most support, but the estimated construction cost has also risen to $67 billion. Regarding the construction progress, the Vietnamese government plans to complete all construction approvals by 2025 and strive to complete the first phase of construction by 2031, which includes 361 kilometers of railway lines with a total investment of approximately $17.5 billion. In the decade from 2031 to 2041, the government will proceed to complete the construction of the remaining two phases, totaling approximately 1,130 kilometers, with an estimated total investment of $50 billion. The phased construction strategy can not only effectively ease Vietnam's financial pressure, but China has also promised to provide loan support to promote the smooth implementation of the project. So, can China help Vietnam complete this great high-speed rail project? In my opinion, China's rapid development in the past decade or so has largely contributed to this change. Although China's high-speed rail technology may not have been comparable to Japan's more than a decade ago, China has now accumulated rich experience in high-speed rail construction and has a high-speed rail network of more than 45,000 kilometers. In addition, China is also helping many Southeast Asian countries build high-speed railways and has achieved a series of remarkable achievements. Take the China-Laos Railway as an example. This railway, with a total length of about 1,000 kilometers, was officially opened in December 2021. It connects Kunming City in Yunnan Province, China, and Vientiane, the capital of Laos. It is one of the landmark projects under the Belt and Road Initiative. In addition, the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is also a typical example. This railway connects Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, and Bandung, West Java Province, with a total length of approximately 142 kilometers. The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is Indonesia's first high-speed railway and will be completed and put into use in 2023. In addition, China has also reached a large-scale railway project with Thailand. The first phase of the project connects Bangkok and Nakhon Ratchasima, with a total length of about 253 kilometers. In the future, it will extend to Nong Khai in northeastern Thailand and connect with the China-Laos Railway. Apparently, almost all countries in Southeast Asia are working closely with China to jointly promote the development of railway projects. The smooth progress of these cooperation projects has obviously become one of the important factors that led Vietnam to finally abandon Japan and choose to cooperate with China. If Vietnam continues to stall with Japan on the North-South high-speed railway project, its strategic corridor status on the Indochina Peninsula may face serious risks of marginalization. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.